I replied in the comments, but I really want to highlight this because honestly, I think we have an issue in some of the narratives around people having toxic dynamics or bad experiences or, things that felt very bad and wrong to them. And this narrative of like, everybody who has hurt me intentionally did so, or everyone who has hurt me was a narcissist or an XYZ, like all of these kinds of narratives you see all over the internet. And while I understand that there absolutely are Machiavellian abusers who do awful shit intentionally, they're not as common as a lot of these narratives seem to push. Most of the people are just traumatized. They're traumatized and they have bad coping mechanisms. And they are not intentionally otherwise harming people. In fact, many of them have good intentions and just really don't know how to handle these situations and do so badly. This is where we have to play into nuance because, again, I am not saying that there are not abusers or that there are not Machiavellian asshats in the world. I've dealt with them. But here's the thing, like the majority of the instances that I have been hurt in workplaces, in other kinds of social dynamics, it wasn't somebody just being a Machiavellian asshat. Most of the time it was just people's coping mechanisms being bad and their own personal drama influencing things in the way that they said or did things that was hurtful. And most people are relatively good. They just often are screwed up and caught up in their own spiral of bullshit. And this is not to say that we aren't responsible for our own bullshit or that we aren't responsible for making things right if we find out that we hurt somebody, right? But yeah, it's not malicious a lot of the times. We're not, having, sociopaths lurking around every corner kind of thing. Most of the time that people who are doing this are doing so out of their own dysfunctional coping mechanisms. But because of the fact that they can seem so well-meaning, doesn't stop them from damaging us as well. And so that's one of the reasons why I like talking about these things, because we need to kind of tease out some of these narratives a little bit, because people who mean well can still do us a shit ton of harm.